Welcome to our new series, Your Life. Whose choice is it? In this new series, let's examine our life choices. What helps us choose, how we choose, and the unconscious biases that might influence our choices. The consciousness of choice. For the first time in history, we humans have more choice in our lives than we've ever had before. Whether in our careers, or our finances, or our health, or friendships. It is a fact that consciously or not, we are always choosing, even those times when we say that we have no choice. No choice is a choice we make. Everything in our life is a reflection of the choices we've made. Having said that, it's important to remember that there are no good or bad choices, no right or wrong choices, even though it may seem like that at times. But I know that every choice is an opportunity to learn, to do it differently the next time. So think about the next choice you make and enjoy listening.
Join spiritual psychologist and India's #1 biofeedback practitioner, Ritu Malhotra, as she guides you through the paths of self-discovery and personal transformation so that you can live in alignment with your values and purpose. This podcast is brought to you by Ajna Center for Learning. To know more about Ajna and connecting with the host, check out the links given in show notes. You are listening to the Cellular Alchemist podcast, and here's your host, Ritu Malhotra.
The irony of mediocrity. We accept the love we think we deserve. Do you think that's true? What if we replace the word love with almost any other word? Do we accept the respect we think we deserve? Do we accept the salary we think we deserve? Or why do we accept the life that we don't think we deserve? Something to think about, huh? Yes? We can apply this to many areas of our lives. Why don't we prefer mediocre products over better quality ones? Why do more people see mindless movies instead of talented cinema? Even with literature, shallow novels are bestsellers and they outsell the deep literary works. And what about food? Beer, burgers, they are so satisfying to many of us. Let's have a pizza and see how it feels. It's very, very satisfying, far more than a carrot or an apple walnut salad or something. Everywhere we see around us, where there is a choice between profound and shallow, we go with the shallow. Why? Maybe because it's the popular thing to do, or it's familiar and socially accepted. Like many kids start smoking because it's easier to join the peer group and be part of the gang, even though it's an unhealthy habit. What it boils down to is that mindless conformity is the stuff of much of our social life. Mindless conformity. Think about it. Another thing to think about is that a habit, even a rut, though depressing, is less scary than to take the risk of change. We all avoid change. as we avoid risks. This is one of the main reasons why people settle in life. It's not about unrealistic goals or not attaining perfection. It's about changing what we can within ourselves in order to be happier. Changing a little bit within in order to be happier. Not merely drifting along in life. Of course, the other reason is because we are scared to be alone. So a crowd is better. A gang is better. We doubt whether we can be alone. Now, recently, technology has become substitute for loneliness. Though the price of our relationships has been heavy, technology gives with one hand and it extracts a steep price with the other. We have paid the price with our dwindling levels of patience. We want it now. We haven't quite learned that things worth having, they take time, they take commitment, they take faith, which many of us don't want to exert. The truth is that everything in life is a trade-off. Let's also accept that we are all born with different talents, aptitudes, potential. Just like we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. A lot of us are not good at academics or sport or art, but we are pretty average at many things. As I said earlier, in order to become a Roger Federer or a Mary Kom, we have to dedicate time and energy to it. And because we all have limited time and energy, few of us even become truly exceptional at more than one thing. So the fact is that none of us can become star performers in all areas of life. Wouldn't you agree? Now, what does this tell us? That the popular culture, the world over, is programming us into believing that if we are not exceptional, we are nothing. Which is a very insecure and desperate place to be. We're all running around chasing our tails, trying to be extraordinary and compensate for something. We don't even know what. Trying to prove that we are unique in some manner. In this crazy race, do we ever stop to think that if we are all extraordinary, then no one would be unique? It's inherently contradictory, isn't it? Like if there's always light, how would we know what it is unless there is a polarity of dark? See, people don't want to be mediocre because deep down inside, they believe that they'll never achieve anything and will have to accept that they're failures. What they completely miss is that the people who become exceptional do so not because they believe that they are exceptional, but because they are obsessed with improvement. Yes, they are obsessed with improvement. So mediocrity is a place where people often get stuck and do not know how to escape. In order to move from here to there, one must think differently. Get rid of what hasn't worked. Connect with those that can give more direction. Design and plan for that action. And most importantly, put that plan in motion. We need to accept that much as we all feel we deserve greatness. Being average is not worthless, really. In fact, it's an opportunity to look within and find what we are truly interested in, what makes us feel alive, like a game of chess, for instance, or being part of a sporting team, appreciating a symphony, or valuing sincere friendship, maybe, or creating something. Creating something always works. Something like, say, puzzles, Lego structures, or why not with something like helping someone in need and maybe giving laughter first place in your day. Did we ever think of that? Now, doesn't that sound good? Does it sound boring? They're not boring, these activities. They are the stuff of life, the average stuff of life. And they are the things that truly matter. Life is too short to miss these simple pleasures. That's what gives weight and worth to life.
That was this week's episode for the Cellular Alchemist podcast with spiritual psychologist Ritu Malhotra. Don't forget to follow the podcast on your listening app so that when the new episode drops, you do not miss out on the chance to change your life by changing your beliefs.